I'm going to love Justin again and act like I love him again in like 27 minutes.
They're going to be living their best life if they are doing what they enjoy doing, which is talking to people, being outgoing and stuff like that. Yeah. And in this case, she came from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What are you doing to make sure that you're continuing to grow that profit? Because at the end of the day, it's profit right now. It's a staff pay raise later. The problem is new is expensive. And so don't do the newest things. Do what you're doing. Do it better. Do more of the things that you're doing well. Hi guys, and welcome to Fireside Chat with the Johnsons. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Justin.
And you are watching us either on YouTube or you are listening to us right now on Apple or Spotify on the Fireside Chat podcast.
It's not always easy running a business by yourself or with partners. So that's what we do with the Fireside Chat with the Johnsons, is we talk about owning a business together and how that works, because it's not always easy.
Are we just business partners, Justin?
No, we are not.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, just partners.
Actually, we're in work mode right now. So if you have a hard time because you're working with your spouse and sometimes you guys have to get in work mode, we've been there. We feel that.
Yeah. So trying to, where's the line between wife and husband and business partner and owning a business? I don't know, but we've been navigating that for a while now. I think we've got a pretty good idea where that's at, but yeah, it's it might be different for other people, but
I'm going to love Justin again and act like I love him again in like 27 minutes.
That's unfair. Unfair.
But in the meantime, bro's the CEO.
All right, let's go. We have
right.
We have an exciting topic today, and so I'm hoping that you guys get a lot from it. It's one of the most important things in your business, and so we're going to be talking about staff.
Yeah, we're going to give you guys today 3 ways to keep great coaches.
Yep.
Because the worst thing that can happen in your gym is that you've constantly got to restaff, rehire, retrain, all of those things because you have staff who are turning over even faster than those preschool tumblers. And we know that retention is something that will help your gym grow. Okay. And not just athlete retention, staff retention also.
Staff retention, yep.
So we're kind of in a unique situation because we have a university in our town, and with the university...
Is that very unique though?
Well, maybe
There's
not.
a lot of towns that have universities, but...
Yeah, that's true.
But it does help.
Yeah, so it can help us with staffing, but I will tell you our retention is a little bit tricky because you have to make sure when you're hiring a coach that you're hiring someone who can actually take on a job. A lot of college students can't take on a job in their freshman or sophomore year of college, especially if they are like a college cheerleader or they're in track or a sorority or something like that.
And then you have a limited window with them.
Yeah.
Because even with that, they're going to graduate. They're going to move on one day. So
yeah. You know what I forgot?
What'd you forget?
Good news. Do you have good news really fast?
Oh, that was really, yeah. That was a good catch. That was a good catch.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your good news?
Yeah. So we had a good weekend. We went up to Kansas City on Saturday. We did homecoming dress shopping. And then we went and saw Beetlejuice at one of those like dine and, it's supposed to be dine and recline. It didn't recline. I think your choice was dine or recline.
No, it was more dine and rock because they did like move. You were like, yeah.
It's like a rocking chair on your seat. And the whole time I'm telling my 14-year-old, I'm like, quit rocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool.
My good news is we went dress shopping and I actually saw something there that I thought was cool. So they hired
pink and sparkly.
They hired a DJ. So there was a DJ there, and he's got 2 mixer boards, 12-inch, like big ones, and he had his computer going and the music and the lights and everything, and he's up there. And so I was over there talking to him. Next thing you know, he's coming to Trunk or Treat. He's coming to our showcase, and he's doing our parade. So usually it's DJ Mix-a-Lot here, but
actually, DJ Mr. Twister is what the kids call you.
Yeah. Well, no, this guy's going to be DJ Mix-a-Lot, though. I think he's going to...
I know we call it our parade. Technically, it's the university's homecoming parade, and that's why it gets 10,000 people. But if you ask us, it is kind of the Twister parade.
We try to outdo everybody at this parade. But anyways, in this case, though, we're hiring this guy to come in and do all the music for us. So it's going to be pretty cool. Or I'm pretty pumped about this.
Total side note, department store was genius by having a DJ in there. I thought that was super unique. It made it more fun to shop when you had all the music going and stuff like that. It felt more like you were at a homecoming or a prom. And it just was more fun. We went to 4 or 5 different dress stores. That was by far the most fun to shop in. But Justin should not try and pick dresses for girls other than that. So, but did you not?
I was trying to find the most ridiculous dresses. Yeah. Hey, what do you think of this one?
Look at this green one with fringe. But didn't you get a ton of ladies who were like, oh, my husband would never be here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were like, man, you were a total coolest dad ever here or something like that. I don't know. They were saying all kinds of stuff to me.
So dads, if you're out there, or Brandon, who has 2 girls and in 10 years, he's going to be in this boat, go shopping with your girls. It's going to make it a lot of fun, very memorable. My dad went prom dress shopping with me, and I actually remember it still.
Usually when a guy goes somewhere and tries something on, it's 2 or 3 things, maybe. 7 dresses, 8 dresses. I mean, there were girls walking out of there armfuls of dresses. So I was like,
except that time I bought you that shirt that has little cowboys on it, and I had you try on a lot of shirts that time.
I didn't even come out of the dressing room. She was just throwing shirts over the top. Try this one on.
It's true.
Try this one.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, let's get into it. 3 ways to keep great coaches.
All right. So number 1.
Continue to push them to be better and learn more, even if this is their part-time job.
But is it their real job?
Yeah. Does that drive you crazy, guys? If you have coaches who are saying well, got to go to my real job tomorrow, and they're referring to their other job or their full-time job.
I know, it's like waitressing or something. You're like, okay. How is this one not a real job? Yeah. I guess, I really do when people say that and I hear it, I think of this is their fun job. They just have fun here. Maybe it doesn't feel like work. That's my idea of why they call it not a real job, or they got to go to their real job. I wonder if the other one's just this one's work. I don't enjoy being here.
That's fair.
I'm just here to make some money.
So if you're a coach and you're listening to this and you called the gym not your real job, change the verbiage. It can be your fun job, but every owner wants to know that the coaches are taking their job seriously. So as an owner who works with staff, when I hear somebody say this, oh yeah, I got to go to my real job tomorrow, I'm like, well, what is this? This is a real job. But I can see that.
Yeah. I seriously like to have fun though. So I don't know how that works.
Change your verbiage a little bit on there. Yeah. So continue to push them to learn and be better. So we have coaches who are very natural in certain areas. We've got Cassidy. She is just such a people person. She's so fun. When she met our foreign exchange student for the first time, she literally came up to her from behind and wrapped her arm around her and said, oh my gosh, your hair is so pretty. That's the kind of person, guys, that you want working your events. You want them up at the front desk whenever they can be. You want them greeting kids and parents. You want them working birthday parties.
Very personable.
So find what their best traits are and make sure that you are utilizing them in the gym for stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? What about somebody like
They may not, well, like you said, though, they may not be in that position at the moment. Maybe they're doing just teaching a tumbling class or something like that. But you see those traits are popping out when they're talking to the parents and stuff like that. Take advantage of those because one, you're going to make them live in their best life. I guess that's the term, live in their best life. They're going to be living their best life if they are doing what they enjoy doing, which is talking to people, being outgoing and stuff like that. But also the return on investment for you as an owner is going to be huge because you're putting the right people in the right places. So what were you about to say?
Well, think about your staff who maybe you have people who are education majors and they're learning to be teachers. Is there something they can do to put on a parent education seminar, or can they be a head trainer at the gym that when you get new coaches in, they're the ones training the staff? Maybe you have people who love watching drills and they're out on Instagram all the time coming up with new drills. Can that person be the one who is helping with staff training and they're sharing these drills in your staff band groups or Facebook groups? Yep. Right? We have a front desk girl and her background is in dance. Well, she has great knowledge also in just building flexibility, something, with her dance background that we maybe wouldn't have in cheer. And so we've put her on our flex classes so that she can teach, flexibility. Look at those things. Maybe it's outside of what you hired somebody for, but look at those things that your staff love and that they are naturally good at and provide them opportunities to learn more and to then start teaching. Right?
Absolutely.
Our staff meetings where I'm the one speaking the whole time or Angie is the one speaking the whole time are way more boring than when we have our staff teaching.
And on top of all of that, as people progress in the business, you're going to see that they take on different roles and are actually better at other roles. So the same person that's running the front desk, back in the day is now our gym manager.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Actually, she's an owner now too.
Yeah, and an owner now. Just keep an eye on the things that they're doing and accomplishing, and you're going to see them. You can give them more work, more activities, more events, more opportunities to advance and do things within your business to the point where they might own it one day. Yeah.
Hey, isn't that like quite the career path? Somebody who starts out as a part-time coach or a part-time front desk associate, who knows, like what a career path that they would stay with you if they one day want to own their own gym, and you could be the path for helping them do that.
Yeah. And in this case, she came from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
There you go.
Boom.
Customer service.
From anywhere. So
if you can,
that was their real job. That was her real job.
Yeah.
Now she works every day at her fun job.
That's right. That's right. She owns her fun job.
Yeah, owns her fun job. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Number 2.
Be consistent with your coaches. So this means you're going to schedule them consistently. You're going to pay them consistently. You're going to be a consistent boss. You're not just cranky one day and happy the next, and they never know what they're coming into.
That's pretty tough.
If you're me, I think it's tough. But here's the thing. You also have a job. You can't be with your customers and, you're cranky one day and happy the next. And so you have to put on that professional stance with your staff also. Be cautious the kind of things that you're talking to them about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, don't vent to your coaches.
That's what I was looking for. Yep.
At the end of the day, you have to have somebody that you can trust, that if you need to vent, you can vent to that person, and it doesn't make your coaches feel like, wow, we're doing really bad in the gym right now because we lost all these kids. We might be closing tomorrow.
You need to be looking for another job.
Yeah, like you don't want to give them that lack of job security just because you need someone to vent to. There are so many other outlets and resources for stuff like that. Don't let your staff be that resource.
Yep.
Additionally, you have to schedule them consistently, because if you're seeing like that summer decline, or maybe you didn't get that back to school rush and you have vacancies in classes right now. So you're like, well, I'm just going to, I've got 3 coaches on that class, but I don't need 3 coaches. I'm just going to have this person clock out for an hour. Well, that makes it really hard when that person has to go pay their car payment at the end of the month. Right?
Yeah, at that point, you're no better than Buffalo Wild Wings, where people walk in, they're like, cut. I just walked, cut.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, we don't need you tonight. Cut. It's like, oh, I need a new job.
Guys, the restaurant business can be brutal. And that is part of the reason you see such huge turnover.
Yep.
I worked in restaurants for 9 years, and there would be times that you come in and you're in for an hour and they're like, hey, you just got cut. Like, we don't need you tonight. It's not going to be that busy. And the hard part is I would go home and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have rent to pay in 8 days. I have rent to pay in 8 days. I needed to start saving.
Well, not only that, but it's built into the business that way. So, because we actually owned a food franchise for a while. It was built in that the head person there, when the next shift would come in, if they didn't need it and they didn't see the rush that they had, they would cut. They would cut some people. They'd call them before they came in, or within the first hour, cutting them. So
yeah, and like your margins on food are just so small, you almost have to. But your business should not be that way. Your margins shouldn't be so small that that's the case. You as an owner or a manager, if you're watching this, it's your responsibility to fill those classes so that you can keep your coaches in their consistent schedule, right? So if you're seeing that you have 4 drops in a beginner class, beginner tumbling at the end of the month, go put a Facebook ad out, go do email marketing, let people know, 1st of October, we've got openings in this Tuesday beginner tumbling class. Start calling your other wait lists and say, I know you wanted a, Wednesday at 6:00, but we have a Tuesday at 6:00 that's open. Would that work for you also? Like, fill those classes so that you don't have to essentially cut coaches and cut their hours.
Right. So it's just the difference between being proactive and reactive. Reactive is just, I'm going to cut my bottom line. I'm always going to be looking at my bottom line, and I'm just going to react with that. Instead of proactive is, hey, we had some losses in these classes. How can we fill them? Look at the top line. Let's fill instead of replace. So,
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Number 3.
Grow the gym with profitable programs so that you can afford to pay your coaches more. Guys, as these applications and resumes come into my gym, I'm just seeing the requested wage going up and up and up. And you know what? Like, it has to, because I'm competing with places in town that are paying $4 or $5 over minimum wage for a normal job, like working at a grocery store.
Inflation is real. If you've gone to the grocery store, you're going to see it.
We got a ride on the inflation train that you would not believe.
If you're not inflating your prices to match what current inflation is, then you are hurting yourself. Yeah. And the only thing that's going to happen is, and it's very typical, is the owner will not pay themselves. They'll pay everybody else, but you won't pay yourself. So I don't know if I'm going into a different direction with this a little bit. And I kind of am, but make sure you're actually charging what you should be charging for the services that you're providing based on today's standards. So
and like
that way you can pay them more.
Yeah. Justin said inflating prices. Like, let's be realistic, guys. You don't have to price gouge, but you can look at when's the last time you raised prices on things like birthday parties, private lessons, events in your gym. You know, if you're at a point, like, I truly believe we're at a point where I don't think I can raise tuition a whole lot right now, because we're already, you know, essentially turning away a number of people based off of the price of our tuition. If we're at a point where you can't raise tuition anymore, but you have to be able to pay your staff more, you have to look at those things that people are using their disposable income for. Birthday parties, events, private lessons, pro shop items. Like, what are you doing to make sure that you're continuing to grow that profit? Because at the end of the day, it's profit right now. It's a staff pay raise later. And you also want to look at what are the things that you're trying to do. So I could sell 40 t-shirts and it's going to profit less than 2 events in the gym. Yep. So which one are you investing your time into? Are you trying to build your brand through something that is barely break even, because that's not going to help you pay your staff more? Or are you looking at, okay, this one has a good profit margin. The more profit I can make in these areas, the more I can afford to invest back into my staff.
Yep.
Okay.
Very smart.
There's a mentality here that when you're working on things in your gym, do what's working and then do more of that. So like, a lot of times we see people in the, you know, academy or otherwise gym owners who are like, well, I've done that before and it works well, but I want to do something new.
Yep.
But why are you trying to do something new? Do what works.
Yeah. Just do more of it until you hit a plateau. And then once you hit a plateau and you're like, man, I'm turning out all of these widgets, and it's gotten to a point where I'm only hitting, you know, I'm only selling 100. Oh, just put birthday parties. I'm only selling 3 or 4 birthday parties a weekend, and that's it. I can't do any more. Well, now we're going to move to better. So we're going to move from more to better. So you've already been pushing. You're getting 3 or 4 a weekend. Now we're going to move it to better. Can you make the birthday parties a little better? Can you add more value to the birthday party based on the price you're paying? Now let's do that. Now let's switch back.
Yep.
And now we're going to go back to more again. Let's start pumping with the new, better birthday party that you've got. Now we're going to pump and do more of that.
Yeah. So, and you might be thinking, like, if I'm already booking out every weekend on birthday parties, why am I going to work on making it better? Realistically, you're then going to raise the price a little bit on those birthday parties. So you're going to focus on maxing out the things that you're doing and doing them well. Then you're going to make them better, raise the price a little bit, go back and do more of those, because once you raise the price, you will reasonably see a decline in the number of purchases. And it's back and forth, more, better, more, better. When you finally get to that plateau of like, I have done more and I am doing better, and like, we've done it over and over, and now I'm not seeing progress. Now you start something new.
Yep.
Right. But if you're doing tie dye and tumble and it sells out every 2 months that you're doing it, or every 3 months, why would you try anything else? Literally continue doing tie dye and tumble. And when you've sold out all of them, make it better, raise your price a little bit, do it again. Right. Like, why reinvent the wheel? And honestly, I know the answer to that. Why reinvent the wheel? Because we get a little bit bored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we all fall prey to it. Just, I want to try something new.
Yeah.
I want to do the new shiny thing over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let new be the reason that you're accepting barely break even programs, right? You want the newest uniforms. You want the newest, nicest bows. You want the newest hot choreographers that are out there. And I don't mean hot, like whatever, like Harvey Specter hot. I mean, like, you want the newest, coolest choreographers. Well, the problem is new is expensive. And so don't do the newest things. Do what you're doing. Do it better. Do more of the things that you're doing well.
If you didn't catch that, she likes suits, and she likes a particular person on suits. So it's Harvey Specter. But anyways, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So make sure, number 3 there was make sure that you are doing things that are not barely break even. Because when you are sacrificing your profit to do something, you truly cannot afford to pay your staff more.
Yep.
Right? Don't sacrifice at the attempt to build your brand. Do things that are profitable so that you can keep your staff.
Knock on wood on the first part of that. Do not sacrifice to build your brand.
Yeah.
There is no reason. And there are lots of businesses out there that will do it. In certain industries, they have loss leaders where they'll just attract you in on a vehicle. When you get there, the vehicle's never there, but they got you into their dealership now and they can do that. There's a lot of, in the cheer industry, a lot of companies that will just have people on their team just because they have skills, but they're there for free. Who's paying for that? The entire other programs are paying for that person to be there.
What's a better way to build your brand than super nice t-shirts and the most beautiful uniforms? How about a happy staff who's wearing mediocre t-shirts, but they are constantly bragging about your brand? They're meeting little kids at events or something like that, and they are telling them how amazing your program is. And they're talking to parents and they're talking to their own friends who have kids, and they are helping build your brand. That is so much more important and so much more effective than any t-shirt you will ever have. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure that you join us on YouTube next week. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to share this with another gym owner, just hit the little arrow and make sure that you share this link.
Alrighty then.
Hey guys, make sure that you get registered for the Next Gen one-day business builder event in the Mile High City.
Where's that at? That's in Denver, Colorado.
That's right
here. September 26th. Go to ngconferences.com to sign up today.